Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. It's August 28th, so it's the last Wednesday of the month. Hopefully, you've had a productive August, whether that means with kids at home or productive with kids or productive in spite of kids, right? Um, Ruby says that August brought her hot weather in August, so she's extremely grateful for her air conditioning. Can you imagine life without air conditioning? Oh my goodness. We are so blessed, right? Okay. So by way of announcements, we have all the great convention events coming up. So let's just do another quick overview of that. So I'll share my calendar. So here is a quick overview of what's coming up at convention. So Tuesday, we've got the leader-led business training, and I just got word that that will be recorded. So if you absolutely cannot make it to convention, there will be an option there. I'm not sure when we're going to start selling that, but that is coming. And then Wednesday, we have Essential Emotions Breakthrough Training in the morning from 9 to 1. And then in the evening, we've got Feel to Heal with Jo Tholstrup. And then we jump to the convention. Team party is Friday night. Saturday, we'll have an open house after convention. And then for those who want to learn about the history of the area, we'll have a tour of Temple Square. And before that, we'll get to hear from the Tabernacle Choir. It's called Music and the Spoken Word. So lots of good things there. Also, by way of announcements, Up Level 21 is still going, and we're having amazing success stories with that. So starts the first day of the month. You can join individually. So what this is, it's a chance for you to get in good habits and basically create new results through habit hacking. So, the habits include taking your supplements. These are the supplements you'll be taking: Terrazyme, Recharge, and Advantage. And then other habits include movement, gratitude practice, taking your water, getting your sleep, stretching, and we give away lots of cash prizes every single month. So it's so much fun. And you have until the 1st to register for September. So it looks like there is an addition for September. It looks like they're adding the sleep system. So that's a fun addition. If you want to hack your sleep and up-level your health and reverse age, sleep, I can't think of a better way than improving your sleep. So that's a fun addition. Okay, so let me see if there's any questions coming in on that. So the graphics that I'm showing you are here at uplevel21.com. So you could use any of those graphics. Also, they have a great Instagram channel where they've been posting. I'm trying to remember. Let me see if I can find that real quick, because they've got some great graphics there that you could use. I think it's wellness. Is it wellness community? Your wellness communities. Okay, so let me share that. So here is the Uplevel 21 Instagram page. So it's called Your Wellness Communities. And just fun little reminders, helping you stay in the groove, and just keep all these things top of mind. And then here's some graphics if you want to promote this to your team. Obviously, this is for an old event, but just follow this channel and you'll see all the goods for social media. Awesome. Okay. All right. So, do they have a Facebook page? That's a great question. I will search for that and let you know. Okay. So they're posting in their leadership page, but I don't see whoops. Oh, I think that's a different thing. Yeah, that's a different thing. I'll get back to you on the Facebook page. The name of the Instagram was Your Wellness Communities, and I'll post a link to it here. Your Wellness Communities, plural, for those watching the replay. And then the link to our calendar is at sharesuccess.com/convention. So be sure to check out those events and come connect. One of the best parts of convention, right? Chance to connect. Okay. Let's see, where's my participants? All righty. Okay, well, we may or may not have a guest on with us today, but until they show up, I'd love to field any questions and serve you. So go ahead and raise your hand and we can bring you on live. Okay, I see a raised hand. Whoop. And now they put their hand down. Okay, Lisa, I'm going to invite you to come on if you have a question. If not, no worries. And then somebody posted a link to a Facebook page. So if that is the Up Level 21 group, thank you. Oh, Lauren, how are you, friend? Okay. Okay, go ahead and raise your hand if you have any questions. Last week we had a guessing game about what new products doTERRA is going to launch. I was rooting for a fuel additive, but I think our chances are slim. What do you think? Essential oils in your car, in your gas tank? Might be less likely, right? Okay. All right, go ahead and raise your hand and ask your questions. Love to serve and support. Could be about your goals, about your mindset, any blocks. All right, Tony's got her hand raised. Karen's hoping for a return of dill. That was a great oil, wasn't it? Any other dill fans here? Becky says yes. Me too. I love it. Okay. So fun. All right. Well, who has questions for us today? Okay, it looks like Tony has joined us.
Sorry, I didn't know what I was doing, I don't think, to get on here. Um, let's see. Okay, hi.
Hi.
We are getting ready to participate in Diamond Club. My upline is doing it this year. We've done it one time before. But I can't say that our whole team is behind us exactly. I think they just look at it as so much stress and the pressure of having to get so many new enrollments.
Hmm.
Wondering if you had any tips as to how to get them on board or kind of out of the box things for us to be, trying to incorporate so we can kind of move forward. I know the reactivations are going to count, and that's going to be really good, I hope. But I just didn't know if you had any words of wisdom for us.
Yeah, well, congratulations on you and your upline choosing in. That's fantastic. Tell me why you chose in. What do you see? What is it that you're excited about?
Well, it's my upline that's doing it, so I'm supporting her.
Okay.
Uh, But my reason for doing it is hopefully to, of course, build my business, to get better organizational daily skills, I'm hoping, and to try to find some builders because I really am lacking in builders, whether I'm going to find them in my downline or find them somewhere else, or exactly what to look for, or how to, I don't know, just how to make it better.
Sure. Well, it's a great question. And I think ultimately it all comes back to vision. Um, what is it that you see in doTERRA that gets you excited? What are the solutions that you're finding? And the the energy is contagious. And so if you bring your positive energy, if you're enthusiastic, if you're on fire, if you have just nothing but good to say, um, then people will pick up on that.
Okay.
And if, on the other hand, Diamond Club is stressful to you and it brings up stressful thoughts to you, guess who's going to pick up on that?
My team.
Everyone else. Yep.
Right.
Team, prospects, everyone. So it's, every challenge is an opportunity to clean up our energy, right? It's a chance to release any of the unwanted and call in more of the wanted. So in the case of Diamond Club, um, where are you going to put your focus? Is it the numbers, the requirements to stay in, the demands that somebody else is making on you and your time? Or are you going to use this as a chance to use your voice um, to just spread love, spread light, spread the thing that attracted you to doTERRA in the first place? So that would be my invitation, is to be very, very conscious of your energy
Mhm.
and what it is that you're choosing to focus on. Because Diamond Club is tough. It's work. And it's the best kind of work. It's sharing um, the passion, the high vibes that attracted us to doTERRA, but doing it you know, on a fast track.
Right.
It's not the slow boat. The Diamond Club is a chance to be all in and to really go big. So that's my coaching. And be mindful of who you choose to collaborate with. If you have team members who are more inclined to be complaining, focusing on the bad, just be careful about your energy there. get really clear and be intentional on how to manage your energy, because yeah, it's contagious. So it's always the strongest energy that wins. And if the complainer energy is the strongest, then you get to up your energy to counterbalance that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, such a great question. Thanks for hopping on, Tony.
Thank you.
And we'll be cheering for you all the way.
Thanks.
Everyone, yeah, anybody else who's doing Diamond Club, go ahead and say me in the chat. I'd love to hear who else is in. All right, Sandy is in. Chelsea is in. Julie is in. Love it. Jennifer says, I heard last week from a coaching training that whatever your energy is about a subject, topic of conversation will be mirrored by your client. Yeah, it's true. I even saw a sales expert. They did video recordings of sales conversations, and the very, very best, the highest performers in sales, they would actually mirror the body language. So they played the video super fast and with no audio. And what they found is the highest performers, they mirror the body language of the person they're talking to. And so there's this principle of match, latch, and lead. And so if we can first get in sync with the person and then bring our energy, that's how we lead them to a higher and better place. And sales is a great playground for doing that, right? We get to find people where they are, and then serve them and show them the way to a better place. Okay, love it. Okay. All right, Kim asked in the chat, my husband works full time. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 6. And we're just so busy, so building doTERRA just doesn't happen. So yeah, we know something about that. We've had 4 kids while doing doTERRA, growing our family to 7. And so yeah, we know the busy years. This really comes back to choice and priorities. Because doTERRA is easy to do, it's easy not to do. If you look at the activities, right, the pipes of preparing, inviting, present, enroll, support, then it's yeah, I mean, these are all basic things, right? This is just reaching out to people we know and love, asking how they're doing, asking how we can serve. So it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. So it takes self-discipline. It takes, this is part of the reason we do things like Silver Club and Diamond Club, is because it gives us parameters, right? It creates some structure so that we have a track to run on, and we can be productive. So, and I love the comment in the chat, Shelley saying that if you can build rapport with someone quickly if you know how to do it right. Yeah. These don't have to be time-consuming activities. We can create value quickly. And with technology, it's so cool how you don't have to be in person with every single interaction. I love how people are using, voice memos. That's Natalie's go-to. Lots of people use Voxer. People who love Marco Polo. You can transfer energy so much better with voice and video. So yeah, use your tools, and just give yourself, last week we talked about giving yourself, what's the best word? Parameters, I guess. So maybe building doTERRA is a priority for you. And so you say, all right, the activities that I'm going to focus on is inviting. And I'm going to invite 3 people before I eat a single bite today. or I'm going to have 2 classes scheduled on the books before I eat my dinner. And so, doing action-based goals instead of results-based goals, and then just build that into your life, build it into your schedule. Find ways to do it with your kids. We used to go do booths with the kids. We still take our kids to classes, and sometimes we pair kids, to share a testimonial. So there are ways to involve your kids. It doesn't have to be an either or. You don't have to be doing either doTERRA or family time. There's so many ways to do it together. They can help fill sample bottles. So many great options. I'd love to hear in the chat too, ways that other people have found to make time and to make it a priority. Because we all have time, right? Everybody has the same 24 hours, but making it a priority. Becky says, if you don't plan it into your schedule, it doesn't happen. Yep. All right, Mila is asking, my husband has decided to join me in building the business. I'm super excited. Do you have any suggestions on how to build it together as a couple? Oh my goodness. I could go off for hours on this one. So building as a couple is a great opportunity for growth. It can be it can bring up all of your triggers. It can bring up it can be the most bonding thing, and it can also be very, very challenging. So and it can be the most rewarding. So I'll just say that doing doTERRA as a couple, I can't think of much that's brought us closer together. So I would say start with strengths. Be sure that both of you have taken the Gallup Strengths Finder test and you know each other's strengths, not just your own. And then have a brainstorming session about how you can be the best version of yourselves, how you can bring your brilliance to the business and really bring those strengths to bear. For example, Natalie has strategic number 1. I have activator number 1. So if we're looking at doing a new project, her strategic needs to see all the options, right? So she needs to know, even the crazy options, right? She just needs to be shown all the options, and then she feels like we can move forward. My activator needs to be in action quickly, or else I lose steam really, really fast. So when we're starting a new project, she knows that if we spend too much time looking at options, I've already moved on to something else. So that's just one small example of how we use our strengths. Some people's strengths are in inviting, some are in following up, some people are in the presenting, some people are just in the healing, like I want to heal the world. That's their passion and where their core gifts lie. Some people are more business-minded or analytical. So just take all these things to bear. Not only what are your strengths, but also what are your passions. One of my early passions was life coaching. Natalie and I had hired a life coach, and it had changed our lives. And so I wanted to be a life coach, and Natalie knew that. And so one of the first things she said was, "Hey, could you mentor our team members and help them talk through their goals? And can you help them break through any blocks they have?" So that was one of the first things that I did. Just be mindful that your husband probably doesn't want to be your assistant. That's another mistake that I see being made quite often is people think, oh, well, my husband can just run my errands. They can, take out the trash and run packages to the post office. That's a setup for failure. So Just think of them as your best new prospect and your builder with the most potential. And you wouldn't do that with a new builder. You wouldn't do that with a powerful partner. And so treat them as the incredible creator that they are, and watch the fruits come from that. Awesome. Great question. Okay. Well, our guest has found the time. I know that Tatiana is super, super busy, but I'm so grateful that she has been able to join us this morning. So I would love to hear from Tatiana, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on introductions. I'll just say that we sat on a beach on an incentive trip, and she was asking all of the right questions. And I could tell by the way that she was thinking that this woman was going to go far. And she is now a Presidential Diamond, has one of the fastest growing teams in all of doTERRA, has global teams, and has a fascinating story. So welcome, Tatiana. Thank you so much for joining us. We would love to hear some of your story. Let's see. It doesn't show that you're muted, but I can't hear you. Shoot. Can anybody else hear her? Maybe it's just me.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Something happened. My kid showed up in the room and he clicked a button. Now I was like, what? This always happens. So, Richard, I don't think microphone is working. I had to disconnect it. Richie clicked on something. So anyway, I'm glad that it works this way. If you can, but I think it's maybe just, is it okay? Sounds okay?
Yeah, sounds fine to me.
Okay, perfect. Okay, anyway, so thank you for the intro. I'll be happy to answer all of the questions if you have any in the end. I'm just gonna kind of share a little bit of the story, I guess, as what happened and why doTERRA became a vehicle for me to basically make all my dreams come true, because all of it started with a why. And you probably heard a million times from a lot of people at doTERRA that if you want to go far, you have to have a reason why you're doing this, because in the end of the day, I mean, honestly, you can choose anything. There are so many jobs. There are so many opportunities. There are so many things that one of those jobs for 11 years. I was in the Fortune 500 company. I was actually Procter & Gamble for 11 years. So this is what I picked back in the day to realize my potential as a young adult. Okay. But as I was moving through this, I realized that I don't want to work for somebody else, and I don't want to build somebody else's dreams, and I don't want to think about stakeholders and shareholders, and I don't want to think about sales every day. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I wanted to bring myself back to my children. That was my why. And a lot of people don't understand, especially those in the corporate world, they really don't understand why I left. So they think that was a very silly idea, because if you think about it, at the point when I left the company, I was a marketing director. I already had 11 years of career. I got a bunch of benefits. I got 401k, medical insurance. I got a really decent paycheck at that moment. It was very comfortable already. It was all predictable, very comfortable. I knew what I'm going to get. I didn't have to prove myself anymore, because I already grew to the level that I am. And in fact, I moved from Russia to United States through my job. So I was one of their top talents that was transferred. So everything was kind of set in stone, but deep in my heart, I realized that this is not what I'm meant to do. Have you ever had a feeling in your life that you're not in the right place? I mean, how many of you did? Just text me here in the chat. I want to know. Okay. You did, right? Yes, I have. This is what I had. I woke up one morning and I was like, I clearly remember I was just sitting in the bed. Richie was 6 months old. And I supposed to go back to work in 3 months, because, and it was lucky. I had 9 months of maternity at that point. And I was like, I have to wake up, drop him off to daycare, and just, like do all those routine in the morning, be all stressed out, run somewhere, get this cup of tea or coffee, you know, smell this coffee in the office, just like get back to my like keyboard and like do this for my entire life. And I was like, this is not what I want to do. Like deep in my heart, I had this feeling, and I woke up in the morning and I was like, honestly saying to myself, Tatiana, you're so freaking boring. You're boring. You're like a proctoroid. You like basically speak the same things over and over again. Like the same things every day with coworkers, like the same marketing plan that has the same budgets. And then when you meet new people, all you can say that this is what you do. And I didn't even read books because I was so busy at work and with my life. I didn't do any like special trainings to develop myself in a different way, except the trainings that was given to me at the office, because we had to go through specific training to be where we are, right? Like that training you to be that. They do. They picked who you need to be. I didn't. They did. And I was like, you're so boring. But deep in that heart, I also had the feeling, like you said, that you felt that you are meant for something else. I had this feeling. The God, the universe, whatever you guys believe in, angels, I don't know what you believe in. I'm super spiritual, so I believe in all of this. I was like, I am here on this planet for something else. There is something else I have to do, but I didn't know what it was. So that was the point. I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Like, I have no idea. And I literally just wrote down, I remember I took a piece of paper and I wrote down, have you ever done this exercise? If you haven't, you should totally do it. It's called like circle of life. You can like draw a circle, and then basically, Andy, maybe you can find it on internet. There's like a picture of it. Basically, you can just Google it. It's called circle of life. Okay, you guys done it. Okay. So if you haven't, just Google it. Basically, it's a little circle that has all the different components: career, health, spirituality, joy, like family connections and things like that. Money, you know, like how you're happy with your education, like all of those little things. And you can literally pick on that circle where you are in all those different things. So I've done this exercise and I put spirituality, connection, and like joy very low, because my education was high, my money was high, my job career was high, you know, family was high, but all the other aspects are completely low. And I was like, okay, what do I do? And so I wrote down that the big goal. I was like, guys, I thought it was the stupidest exercise I've ever done, okay? Because I was in corporate, I was like, I know it all. I had this like giant ego. I was like, why do I do this stupid stuff? And so I did it. I sat down and I wrote like, I want to bring light to other people. I don't know why I wrote this. It just came to me. I know it was a message that I received through my body, basically. And so I wrote that down. And then I was like, how am I going to do this? And so I wrote like, I want to inspire people. I want to lift them up. I want to like, you know, I just wrote it like that. I want to do something more global that I'm doing right now. And then I decided to do a health coaching course, like out of nowhere, because one of my friends did it. I was like, okay, I'm just feeling so bored. I need to do something out of ordinary, to do something different than business, something different than corporate. And so I did this nutrition health classes, and through this, I created my little Instagram page. It was all lost and found. You guys like, see, this is not like corporate person came and just like rocked it. Like I had no idea how to do network marketing. I had no idea. I didn't even think of joining it. And then while I was doing my Instagram blog, one of my followers kind of texted me somewhere. It was like a little competition I did with salads. And so she won that competition. I gave her a free consultation, and she ended up being an aromatherapist that actually enrolled me into doTERRA. She's like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Like you can like help your children naturally. I was like, I'm all about helping children naturally. I don't want to use medicine, all that kind of stuff. In fact, my mom was a doctor, so you guys know, but I was just like always about herbal and natural approach. And so I bought this for my children. I went to health coaching school. I was still super lost in my career. I wanted to do something that I felt I meant to, but then the money and all that career was holding me because I had to be responsible. I had 2 children, and I still, right? And so that was the point when I just kind of like let it go. I just let the God and the universe guide me. Okay. So what happened is I basically took off my analyzing hat of the super predictable marketing director, because everything we did back in the day, and still people do that in corporate, it had to be like predictable. You had to calculate it. You had to like, if it doesn't make sense, you change the plan. So my brain was really mathematical at that moment. And I didn't have spirituality. Remember, I told you that spirituality was very low. So I didn't believe in this. Like, I believed in God in the way that I was taught as a child. I didn't believe in signs. I didn't see them. I didn't follow them at that moment. But I had this idea that I want to be back to my family as a mom, as the, like as a wife, just be more present in my life. And I wanted to bring that mom back home. And then I dropped those points of joy, spirituality, and community low. Remember? Circle of life, right? And I wrote down that I want to bring light to people. So then the doTERRA came in, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Okay, so then I'm talking on the phone with my consultant at doTERRA. And she wasn't like diamond or anything like that. She wasn't like super crazy like in doTERRA business building. She was just Premier at that moment. I had no idea what Premier even meant. She didn't even tell me who she was. Anyway, so she enrolled me, and she had a courage, which is what I highly recommend all of you, if you're Premier, lead, whatever you are right now. Think not about yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't be too shy. Think about other person's potential. So she told me, she's like, you can be a diamond at doTERRA. She didn't talk about herself. She told me about me, who I can be. So that resonated with me, because she was like, I'm a Santa. This is who you can be. This is the present. Like, you got this. Like, I got this in my bag. I gave it to you. And now you can make this work for you, what you want it to be. So I thought that was pretty interesting, but I kind of laughed about it because I had this giant corporate ego at that moment. So I basically asked her, I was like, maybe I can go to like Hawaii and get like a pink Cadillac. Like, it was like kind of funny to me, like all this network marketing business. I was like, I was in corporate business. Like, this is real business. This is like strange business. Plus I had those girls in high school selling me this Avon and Oriflame, like goodie bags and things like this. So I had this like very strange taste in my mouth about it. So she said that to me, and that's it. And I said, I'm not sure, I was like, how many years I worked to be where I am right now? Like, how can I leave this for this? Like, makes no sense. So, but I did open the marketing plan though. Like, I did open that business building guide. And then I saw Presidential Diamond making my annual paycheck in 1 month. And I was like, is that even legal? You know what I mean? I was like, even like the diamond, I was like, people just work from home and making the diamond paycheck. This is exactly what I was making at that moment in the corporate, my diamond paycheck. So that would be just a trade. But I was like, I don't want to trade. I want to upgrade, right? So then I looked at it and I said, who are those people? Like, show me these people. So I asked my wellness advocate to send me some links of people who are this people in blue Presidential Diamond. I wanted to look at them because I wanted to see how related can I be. So far, what I have seen from network marketing businesses, other businesses, it's those people who are like shaking their checks in Instagram, like, look at me, I made $1,000, I made $2,000. I went to this like super cool stuff. I bought the Prada bag, like, too luxury. It didn't resonate with me, right? It didn't resonate with me because I am a very simple person. So even in corporate, I mean, we had people who are like driving crazy cars and they always show off, and they have like everybody in sales department had Louis Vuitton bag, like all of that kind of stuff. It wasn't me, never. That's why I always didn't feel in that VP kind of operation situation. So then I saw doTERRA people, and that was so simple. And I was like, are they really presidential diamonds? I mean, the first time I saw Natalie and Andy, I was like, this are real like presidential diamonds. Like, and you know, they're very successful. But if you meet them the first time on the street, you would never know. They will not show this to you. They are not like show off kind of people. They're like very humble. So the humbleness really struck me at doTERRA. So then I started trying to do this business. I decided to make a plan. So I made a plan. 6 months silver. I was like, if I make the silver, then I can prove it's real. Like the marketing plan is working. It's not just like a thing on the paper. So, you know, it wasn't easy. 1 month I barely made like executive, then I did a lead, then I dropped back to executive, then I got to premier. Like it was kind of like this, and then I spent like so many hours, and I only made like $500, and I was like, this is crazy. I'm like spending so many hours in it, and all I make is $500. But then I started thinking about it. I got a book, and I highly recommend all of you to get it. It's called GoPro, Network Marketing GoPro. And there's another really good book by Robert Kiyosaki. Do you guys know him? He wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad. So he has a book about network marketing. It's called Business of 21st Century. If you have never read it, I highly recommend this. So that book talked about assets. And this is something I've never learned in business, because they just teach you how to work for somebody. And basically your asset is your time. So you spend the time to create somebody else's dreams. And you never build an asset that will last you long term. Like what I mean is, like when I left corporate, what was my salary? 0, right? Because I spent 0 time in there. So they paid me 0. Because I didn't build the asset. I built asset for them. They got the company. I left, but they got the company. So the company works for the stock market people, for shareholders. They got their asset. They sit, and their company makes the money. I was their asset to work for them. Okay. So when I started reading all those books about like financial education, like different kind of solutions, and in network marketing GoPro, I realized that I was in the wrong quadrant. I was in the wrong complete like side. And there is another side that actually is there. And so that side is called business owner. And doTERRA is the vehicle to be a business owner. Besides that, I didn't have to build the factory. I didn't have to create a distribution for it. I didn't have to do marketing for it. Like they have materials and packaging and everything. All I have to do is 2 things, which is that I'm excellent at, is build a network and promote the brand. 2 things. So it's like a perfect, it's almost like franchise, but you don't have to pay millions of dollars to own that franchise. It's crazy. Like all you have to do is just spend $100 a month in order to build this business. So when I realized this whole thing, I was like, I'm gonna like try this. Like I'm gonna try to build that asset. And then in so many years as I'm building this, because I was 11 years at Procter & Gamble, I can only imagine what I could have done in 11 years at doTERRA if I would join that time. Andy, I would be there with you right now. I joined a little later. Anyway, so but look at it. It's insane. Like 11 years down the road, corporate career, nothing. 0 asset. Unless I would invest myself into like real estate or something else. And here at doTERRA, 4 years I spent. 4 years right now at doTERRA. I have grown in so many ways. I'm not talking even paycheck. I'm like just myself, developmentally, business-like, more than I have grown in 11 years in corporate. And I do have an asset. What I mean is if I choose to go on vacation, if I choose to go somewhere abroad, which I just came back, so I'm still jet lagging. I literally just landed from Iceland and Russia, basically 2 days ago. the system that I built, the team, the asset that I built works for me and it produces income. So this is incredible. I highly recommend you guys understand this. So the next time when you ask yourself, why are you doing this for $500? For 20 bucks, my first paycheck was $18. Why are you doing this for $18? Yeah, because if you go to corporate and they pay you $18 an hour, you're doing it for their asset and you will never own it.
Mhm.
This $18, I'm building your own asset. You own it. So doTERRA people, all of the beautiful founders, they own the company, but you own your own team. You own that channel of distribution that you built. It's your own little business or big business, however you want to kind of explore it, right? So this is what I want you to realize in this journey, that if you ever feel lost, if you ever feel like if anybody questions you, if you question yourself about this, I mean, it means that you don't understand what you're building. And as soon as you realize what you're building, you will not have any questions why you're working this for $18 per enrollment. Never. So this is what I realized through this 4 years of journey. And I actually think now down the road, if somebody asked me 4 years ago about this, I would completely have a different opinion about this business. I would be like complaining about it and be like, why am I spending so much time for $500? Makes no sense, blah, blah, blah. And right now I will tell you, like, this is the best platform for people who want to build a residual income, who want to own an asset. The best from cost of entry, from resources to join. Again, you don't have to build anything. All you have to do is spend $100 for your own personal needs with the permission to build a beautiful asset that can last you a long time. So that's all I wanted to share about this. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I love it so much. Thank you for sharing your inspiring story, Tatiana. So many nuggets in there. And I'm already seeing in the chat, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if anybody does have questions, though, go ahead and put them in the chat or raise your hand. So brilliant. Yeah. Like doTERRA is the only opportunity I know of where if you go all in, you not only come out with an asset, you come out with an education. Like the learning that happens, you know, health training, sales training, like you literally couldn't get any of that from a 4-year program anywhere on the planet.
Oh,
But doTERRA gives you that.
100%. Like I started with the fact that I was boring. Like I feel like you put me in any place right now, I'll be like the funnest person in the whole circle. I have like so many topics to talk about: metabolic health,
I believe it.
genetics, essential oils, you know, business, anything. So yeah, this is awesome.
So Jennifer has a question in the chat. What was your actual plan for building your network?
It's actually a very good question, because when I was from corporate, I chose not to build it within my coworker circle. I couldn't. I would be fired basically. Because, I mean, I shouldn't, should just work, right? Like they don't want you to do anything extra. I didn't even share with anybody my Instagram account on nutrition and health coaching, because I would probably have questions from my managers like, what am I doing? Why am I not doing extra projects? Here's your extra project. So I decided to niche. So meaning like I picked my niche. It's very important. A lot of people think that you have to go broad. I actually am a big fan of being a bigger fish in a smaller pond. So I highly recommend you guys picking your niche. And niche is specific customer profile. So think about yourself as, you know, maybe you're a health coach, right? You want to do detox. Maybe you are some international person like I am, so I'm Russian speaking, or you're Latino, right? There's multiple, like, you know, multiple different profiles. So if you have a specific group of people, maybe mothers, or elderly people that you work with, you select that niche and then you start building a plan how you can connect with that audience. At that moment, some people sometimes they say, oh, you had an Instagram. Like, I didn't have an Instagram. I built my Instagram to be successful at doTERRA. It was my choice. I thought that if I want to be successful in network marketing, I need to learn how to build network. There's two things you need to do. That's it. Like, literally at doTERRA, there's two things you have to be an expert at. First is network. Second is marketing. If you have only one, that won't work at a full potential, right? So network and marketing. So you need to know how to build the business. You need to know like all of the different, how the cabinet works, how 1500 bar of 3 works, how your rank works, how marketing, presenting a product work, how presentations work, like all, and if you don't know it, you can learn it. It's not that difficult, okay? Network is a little bit harder for a lot of people because network involves a lot of psychology. So if people are more shy and they are afraid to talk to people, those are hard people to actually lead to the doTERRA business. Very hard, because they have to go through all sorts of therapy to go through their blocks. While business is a little bit easier because it's a skill. It's like just a mental thing that you kind of learn patterns and different structures and things like that. So network is something you need to learn how to build from your heart, basically. If you like love to share stuff, then you learn where you can find people you can share with. I picked my niche, Russian speaking audience in the United States, which is kind of weird because I was only working in English speaking community before while being here. And I had like only maybe 2-3 people that spoke Russian that I knew in the whole America. It's kind of very strange because I know like hundreds, thousands of people right now. So I decided to start networking with those people. So we had different Facebook groups, different meetups. And so you can just like Google like meetup in the city, meetup about business, women, network, business, blah, blah, blah. There's tons of meetups. So you can just go to those meetups and sit there, or you can choose to present. Or you can go to things like, like presentation, like different presentation camps. Toastmasters. You can join a Toastmasters group in the city. You can find all sorts of cool people there. They're all want to be someone. They all want to present. They want to share. So it's a very cool group of people. You can find business builders actually in Toastmasters. I highly recommend to check that out. Plus, you can upgrade your presenting skills too. Then you can also go to like local communities like yoga studios, hair salons, Reiki salons, crystal shops, all those kind of places, and like meet their owners and see if they're open for collabs. For example, I have like a really cool Reiki crystal shop near my house, and they offer classes. So you can teach a class there. Like basically you just pay them for 2-hour rent and you can just teach a class and they'll invite people. One time I did a detox class. They invited like 10 people and I had like 5 enrollments. They invited their people. I did nothing. All I did is just pay them for 2 hours of rent, which was not expensive neither. So there are so many different people that do stuff you don't even know about, but until you reach out, right? So when you pick the niche, then you learn like where you want to go. And I picked my niche as first as Russian speaking. Now it's my other niche as I also work in the English speaking market too. So I do have more of like a wellness, more like a spiritual kind of places too. So I go to those places and I introduce myself and I ask them, do they collaborate? And they always, most of the time they do. So that's kind of where you go about building your network. But it starts with the big idea of who you want to build a network with. The coolest network I've built was literally at the playground. We taught classes literally at playground. When COVID hit, when the pandemic was there, we couldn't meet inside. So we just met outside. We literally set up meetup points at the playground where moms would take kids anyway. We would just like set up essential oil table there. And sometimes we would just invite people to stop by. It was very strange because it was kind of like, it was very weird. Okay. We would like stop by like, hey, we're like here doing like essential oil class. Would you like to stop? It broke a lot of different patterns and blocks in my own mental like psychological concerns in the very beginning of sharing, because I had to go above and beyond to talk to strangers at the playground. It was like super strange. Me and my other partner Gulia, like we were just like, going crazy at playgrounds. It was very fun. I still have photos from there. So it wasn't all fancy. It was like super laid back. We brought some tea, we brought some cookies, we had like oils, and sometimes we would post some little announcements in like local groups and have like, hey, anybody want to meet up at the playground? Then some people on my team, they build special groups. If this group doesn't exist, then they just make it. One of my builders in Los Angeles, there was a group that was too big, non-responsive. The owners of the group were kind of mean, so they never allowed to post ads and stuff. And basically, she decided that she wants to build her own, and literally in like 4 days, she got 500 people in there.
Wow.
What it means that she was not the only one who wanted that other group. So look at opportunities and do it. Like if it doesn't exist, do it yourself. So that was the question about connections.
So awesome. Somebody on Facebook asked the question, did you go for builders or customers, and why? What was your thought process?
Both. I do both still. I actually, even though I already grew to the level where I wanted to be, and I still enroll a lot of people. I normally enroll from like 8 to 30 people a month. And that's a choice, okay? I just don't want to relax yet, because I feel like as soon as you relax, it gets too comforting. And so I still want to build that asset like I'm talking about, and I still want to find new builders. What I would say, if you only go for builders, you are missing out on people like me, because I would never respond to a builder proposal. I responded only because it was something good for my kids, but I discovered that I can be a network marketing professional because I didn't know that about myself, right? Plus, if she would offer me business right away, I probably wouldn't believe her story because she didn't hit where I wanted to be. So I would say, honestly, majority of my very strong builders came through product. But some of them came for business. So I would say you do both. But what you do, though, is you check everybody you enroll for business. So the focus is just getting a bunch of enrollments. If you start enrolling people, the beautiful opportunity to check people if they want to be a business builder or not is on a wellness consultation. This is what I do. This is my giantest big idea. When you do a wellness consultation, in the first 5 minutes, you literally talk to them about yourself and you ask them the right questions about them. So when you share who you are, what your goals are, and what you do for life, usually people will share back, because it feels weird if they don't share back with you. So I usually share what I do, and then I ask them what they do. And so they would tell me where they live, like where they went to school for or something, or they can tell me what's their career journey looked like. And from there, I understand if that's a great candidate for doTERRA business. Also, you can see how excited they are when they talk. Like if they're super excited when they talk and they share information with you, they talk about like how they love naturopathic medicine and like all this kind of stuff. You kind of be like, oh, she can totally share the same way with other people, because this is how it is. I did offer business even to some of my coworkers from that company or some other big companies. That I have a pretty good list of people, because I work in corporate. So all those corporate people went somewhere in other companies in the big marketing. They were not successful. I invited people for business and they were not successful, even though they came from corporate, because they didn't have the right why. And they didn't have the right feel for the product. They just came there just for business, and they didn't really they were not that in love with the product. And so their sharing story was not as authentic, and people can feel it. But I did have a business builder that came to me through asthma, and she's my biggest diamond at doTERRA in Russia right now. and she had no plans to join network marketing. She just loved doTERRA so much as a product, and she had the right skill set that then I further on discovered. And then I offered her business because I was like, well, you love the product so much and you have such a beautiful background. How about we try it together? So your job is not to wait for people to like raise their hand and be like, I want a business builder, I'm your customer. Your job is to literally dig, peel the onion until you find the right person that you can offer the business to among the group of people that you already enrolled. And that works the best, I think, because that's how I get a lot of different business builders.
Wow. Amazing.
What's Nature Hype Network? Oh, it's my LLC. This is how I run this business. So it's yeah, it's my company name. So yeah, when you grow at doTERRA, you realize that you need to do it through a corporate, so to incorporate it. And so that's the name of my company.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you so, so much for taking time with us. I know you just got back from a trip, and you're about to travel again for convention. So thank you so, so much for taking the time. It's
Oh, you're welcome.
such a treat to hear from you. So, so inspiring. So many people asking, is this recorded? How can I watch the recording? So thank you again so, so much. And super excited to be with you at convention. And just continue to learn and grow. I know that you've inspired me personally and all of us. So thanks again for being with us, friend.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm excited to see everybody who can come to the 17th. We'll
Yes,
have an awesome presentation there as well. So if you guys
that's
are
right.
making plans to doTERRA convention, make sure you come to the leadership retreat that Andy and Natalie are putting together for you. There'll be a lot of great speakers, and I'll also have an awesome presentation about how to ignite your team and engage with everybody. So everybody's working, excited. I can't wait to see you all there.
So the link for that is what I just posted, sharesuccess.com/convention. She's talking about the leader-led training. So she'll be presenting there. It's going to be so, so fun. Thanks again, Tatiana. And anything else you want to add?
No, I think the best thing is for you to guys realize why you're doing this. And so if you already know, we will see you at convention because you have no questions why you need to be there. I'm gonna be there.
That's right. Everyone needs to be there.
Exactly. Thank you so much, and very honored, Andy and Natalie, that you invited me because you've been a beautiful example of for me to decide why to do doTERRA. And there are so many people like that you can be inspired with. And you've been my inspiration since the start as we met in Mexico the first time. Thank you.
You're so kind. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's a gift to be here. We'll see you all next week.